I'm going to introduce Connie Reed and Lisa Anglin to come up. They have a little brief skit they'd like to do.
Thank you. I'm Connie Reed. Thank you. I'm so flattered to be here. Thank you to Fidelity, Brenda, Vicky Hughes, and my sidekick here, Lisa Anglin. The reason they asked me to be here today is because in the year 2009, I had the honor and the privilege of being president of the Conejo Valley Association of Realtors. And at our final goodbye party, I was asked to make a speech, and I thought to myself, what am I going to say to realtors during a year that was laden with so many obstacles and where there was so much uncharted territory? What am I possibly going to say? So I thought about all the wild and crazy things that had happened during the year, about transactions and the things that you couldn't possibly make up. Stories in transactions where if you made them up, people would not believe you, but they actually happened. So I thought, well, I know what we could do. I could do a parody of a real estate transaction and maybe lace it with some funny songs. So I thought, well, who's the song lady? And definitely Lisa here is the song lady. So we got together and away we went. But there was very definitely an underlying theme to this little skit. And that underlying theme speaks to the grit and the determination and the perseverance and the optimism of realtors. And I've heard it said at CAR and NAR that realtors are optimists. No matter what happens, I am so amazed how we pick ourselves up, we dust ourselves off, and we keep going again. So that is what I speak to. I speak to all of you and all of the grit and determination that you have endured in the past years.
The name of this is The Life of a Realtor. And we have had so much fun putting this together, so we hope you enjoyed this half as much as we've enjoyed working on it. And here's Connie.
Your phone rings one day.
Ring, ring.
And one of the couples you've been calling forever says, I want to buy a house.
From this moment, you are the one.
They tell you they have some credit issues. But they think they can qualify for a $900,000 loan. They don't have much of a down payment, but can't you buy FHA these days with 3% down?
Dreamin', you must be dreamin'.
After speaking to a lender, they come away a bit shaken up, but more realistic about what they can qualify for, realizing they may have to sell their soul to get this loan.
A client went down to Conejo. They were looking for a deal to steal. They were in a bind and they were way behind and they were ready to make a kill.
We've heard about short sales. We bet we can get a $900,000 house for $700,000. In fact, we'll just keep on finding houses and submitting offers until we get one. You're beginning to think to yourself, I may not live long enough to sell them a house, but you accept the challenge anyway.
The realtor says, my name's Connie, and it might be a sin, and I'll take that bet, and you're going to regret, because I'm the best it's ever been.
First, you carefully listen to their wants and needs.
So tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
And then you set them up on Rapatoni.
Hey, Rapatoni.
Next day, they call you and say they want to see one of the homes you sent them. Can you meet them at the house in 15 minutes? And, oh, by the way, they walk through the house with the listing agent. Is that a problem?
Oh, that sharp knife, hey, with such sharp teeth. Oh, and it keeps turning in my back. Oh, oh, oh.
Turns out the listing agent is your good friend, and you make things right with her and move on. The wife comes to see the home, and she has her 5 children with her. But hey, that's okay, we're realtors. We love children. The instant the door is open, the kids take off in all directions. Oh my gosh, you're thinking, this is a zoo. The next day, you show the house to the husband, and he brings the 5 kids again. There's a sign on the door saying, Fifi and Fufu are inside the house today. Hey, we're realtors. We love dogs. So we open the door very, very carefully, but Fifi and Fufu rush out the door.
Who let the dogs out? Who?
Okay, so you let the dogs out, no problem. It only takes a couple of hours for you and the kids to round up the dogs, but doesn't time just fly when you're having such a good time? Afterwards, the husband turns to you and says, "We want to write an offer."
At last.
You call your title company for a property profile, only to learn they can't provide that information anymore.
I'm sorry, so sorry.
The house is indeed a short sale. You tell them that it could take quite a long time to hear back from the lender, but they need to be patient. They don't think that could possibly apply to their offer, so they call you every single day and every single night for an update.
'Cause wishing and hoping and texting and calling each night after night.
Finally, the listing agent calls. Of course, your buyers are 90 by now, but he says miraculously your offer has been accepted. You have 10 days to close.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
You call the buyers with the good news, but they don't think they want to buy the house anymore.
Hallelujah.
At 3 in the morning, they call you and say they've decided to move forward.
You put the offer in, they take the offer back. You put the offer in, and they make you want to shout.
You open escrow, and the process begins. The appraisal management company sends out their best appraiser from Eureka, armed with the best comps. With the best comps Eureka has to offer.
You and I must not make a pact, so please bring my appraisal back.
The appraisal does not come in, but fortunately, the review appraiser sets it right.
And I say to myself, what a wonderful world.
Your home inspector reports to the buyers.
There's a slimy green coat on the spa deck. There's a slimy green coat on the spa deck.
Not only that, he says, but this house has also got mold and toxins and fungus that grows, leaks, asbestos, and God only knows. Sorry. You're prepared for the buyers to cancel, and you completely agree with them, but for some reason, go figure, they've decided to hang on.
Ain't no mountain high enough.
The day before all the contingencies are to be removed, your buyer calls and says, "The house down the street is listed less than the one we bought, and a neighbor told me there was a burglary in the neighborhood, and I heard there's an underground spring that runs through the property." After all you've been through, you cannot believe your ears.
Mama, don't let your babies grow up to be realtors. Thank.
They get over it and remove the contingencies. The loan docs arrive at the very last minute, the day before the drop-dead date. But the escrow officer sets up a table funding, so it looks like you're good to go.
Here's a little song I wrote. Hope you knew it. It's note for note. Don't worry. Be happy. Look at me, I'm happy.
One of the documents was not notarized correctly, and it looks like the closing will be delayed a day. But the lender says, if it doesn't close today, it's back on the market. Now you're really shook up.
And then this, I'm all shook up.
Late that afternoon, the escrow officer calls to say, your transaction has recorded.
Please don't let this feeling end. It might not come again. And I want to remember.
Gosh, that was easy.
Not.
So the next day your phone rings, and one of the people you've been working with forever says, I want to buy a house.
From this moment, you are the one.
I'll
Stand beside you till past escrow's done. From this moment on.
Let me hug you.